How's it going, everybody? My name is Brennan Boom. I'm with Shop 11. Been there for just about 2 years now, as I was saying in my last speech video. Today I'm going to tell you a story about leadership. It's nothing too crazy, as I haven't really been in too many leadership roles in my short 21 years of existence. This one's just about my previous job before I came into the shipyard. I was working in a lumber yard at Ace Hardware in Port Orchard. And the reason why I'm bringing this up as a leadership story was because the turnover rate in that lumber yard was super high. Like I got hired in there, and there was two other guys working there. And within the first week of me being there, one guy got fired. So it was just me, the other guy, and a new guy like a week later after he got fired. And then about 2 months of me being there, the other guy, the main guy, he quit for a new job. I think he went to a different lumberyard for better pay or something like that. But yeah, 2 months of me being there, I had the most seniority. And 2 months, it took 2 months was a good amount of time for me to catch on and learn, like how to drive the forklift and whatnot, and where everything's placed and how to write tickets and all that. But I wasn't too knowledgeable on it. But as the weeks and months kept going on, we kept getting new guys, and they would look to me as the main boss guy, the guy to ask questions to. And I was fresh out of high school. I was 18 years old. I barely even knew the difference between treated and untreated wood. I didn't have too much life experience yet. But yeah, all these older guys were looking to me for questions and concerns on what they had to how to be a better lumberyard guy and whatnot. But yeah, so I basically had to teach all the new guys how to drive the forklift, and for that we would just I'd go over all the levers and what they did and whatnot, and where the gas pedal, where the brake's at. Always put your emergency brake on when you're stopping, blah blah blah. And yeah, after we go over all the controls, we'd throw a bunch of pallets, like 10 or 12 pallets, all in a stack in the parking lot on a slow period of the day. And he'd have to go pick up all the pallets and stack them in one nice, neat stack of pallets. And that was just basically our test. If you could pass that, then you can drive the forklift around. So that's basically what we did for teaching the new guys how to drive the forklift. And I'd always get questions on how to write tickets, because anything you get in the lumberyard, instead of hauling it up to the cashier's clerk or the cashier clerk area, like say you get a bunch of lumber, you don't want to haul that up there just to get it scanned. You just have to write a ticket with a certain code on it, and for that certain material. Each different product had a different code on it. So they'd always ask me what the code is, and it was all stashed away in a book, and the book had like a great table of contents in it. I don't know why they couldn't get it, but yeah, I'd always have to tell them the code, and they'd write the code. And we also, cut lumber to size if the customer wanted. So I'd have to teach them how to use the chop saw, and how to use the panel saw, and how to use the skill saw. Teach them how you can make it a 45-degree angle, or how to flip the panel saw so you can cut vertically instead of horizontally. We also cut piping too, like metal piping. So I'd have to teach them how to use the pipe cutter, and, just give them the basics and the rundown of it. And yeah, so that was writing tickets and how to drive the forklift. They also asked me a lot, like where things were placed throughout the yard, and I'd tell them, and they'd finally get it eventually. And yeah, so like I said, within me of 2 months being there, a fresh out of high school kid, I was pretty much running that lumberyard. And the way the store was set up was like, you had the main store, and then you had to walk through a separate door in the back just to get to the lumberyard. So it's not like we were around all of our managers and whatnot, so I can just go ask a question to them if I didn't know. I kind of just had to learn on my own as I went. And yeah, I worked there for about a year before coming into the shipyard, and within that year of me being there, I probably seen about 15 people come and go in that lumberyard. It was kind of crazy. A lot of people got fired, a lot of people quit. The pay wasn't obviously that good, so people quit for better jobs. And they were actually kind of strict too. Like if you weren't a good worker, they knew about it and you were going to get fired. So I've seen a couple people get fired out of there, and yeah. So that's my leadership story.